To the NBA we go. LeBron has played in all but one of the Lakers' games this season. That is about to change, and so may the playoff and MVP races as well. LeBron had scored at least 10 points in over 1,000 consecutive games. That streak was in jeopardy because of this loose ball, and LeBron gets rolled up on, and you could tell right away it was bad. LeBron in agony down there on the floor, and you see Solomon Hill rolling on the outside of the ankle, and LeBron somehow stays in the game. And Alex Caruso finds him, and he knocks down the three. He gets to his 10 points, so the streak lives, but looks a little gimpy coming back down the floor. And then you can see him signaling to Frank Vogel, get me out of here. It's not good. The right ankle is not good. And LeBron just disconsolately walks off the floor. Can't go. Lakers lose the game and their leader. Tough for everyone to watch.
I haven't necessarily seen him scream and, scald like that probably ever, even with that groin. So, had to be, probably hurt a little bit for sure.
I really don't feel like it was one of those loose ball plays. And, he had to go through his leg to get the ball, man. He was turned sideways. The ball was behind him. You're jumping at an angle going across this way. I don't know how you feel. That's just a loose ball. They'll go out there loose ball. But, like I said, it's neither here nor there, man. I don't think it's one of those plays that, he tried to do it. But at the end of the day, it's still one of those things I feel like you have to look at. This guy's a pro, man. I don't think it's going to be anything that's going to set him back too much. But, he is human, man. So, he has to go through his protocols just like, everybody else who get hurt.
Being called a high ankle sprain, LeBron tweeting, "Nothing angers and saddens me more than not being available to and for my teammates. I'm hurt inside and out right now. The road back from recovery begins now. Back soon, like I never left. Hashtag the kid from Akron." Our senior NBA insider, Adrian Wojnarowski, joins us now. So LeBron used the words "back soon," Woj, in that tweet. Is that wishful thinking? What are you hearing about when soon might be?
Yeah, David, I think historically you've seen with high ankle sprains, they're typically measured, the recovery for them in weeks, not days. And you've seen an average, I think, over time of 8, 9, 10, 11 games. But it's different with different players. LeBron has shown a tremendous capacity to recover from injury throughout his career. But this certainly leaves the Lakers in a really difficult position, not only having LeBron James out, but certainly Anthony Davis, who continues to recover from that calf injury and isn't expected back at least before, the end of the month. And so this is a team now, the Lakers, who head into Thursday's trade deadline, already looking to address some needs, size, shooting. Listen, you're not replacing LeBron James or AD in a deadline deal. That's not what they're trying to do. But I think the concern now for the Lakers is third place in the West, only 2.5 games from sixth place. And how much ground do they lose in the highly competitive Western Conference? And how does that impact them come playoff time when all of a sudden, if you're LA, you could be faced with a fairly difficult path back to the NBA Finals based on where you land in the standings here.
Yeah, the very short off season for the Lakers. Now the injuries starting to pile up. Lakers facing the Suns tonight. Both teams 2.5 back of the Western Conference leading Jazz. Woj giving us the very latest on LeBron's injury. And take a look at the next 6 for the Lakers. Kind of a mixed bag. Half of the games against teams way under 500, but the other half are against 3 of the league's.
To the NBA now, and 2 words Laker fans definitely did not want to hear Saturday: LeBron hurt. Lakers hosting the Hawks in a matinee. LeBron coming off a 37-point performance Thursday, running his streak of consecutive double-digit point games to 1,035. Second quarter, though, loose ball, and then LeBron gets tripped up. He falls, and he stays there, clearly in pain. We'll show you what happened. Solomon Hill trying to go for the loose ball and rolls LeBron's right ankle. But LeBron would stay in the game. This is the very next possession. 3 in the corner. It's good. But how good is that stride back up the court? Definitely a little limp there. Now we see him coming back down the court, signaling to the bench he needs to come out. He's like, you know what? We're not even going to wait. I need a timeout. Timeout, please. He walks off the court and straight to the locker room. Now, LeBron has a high threshold for pain, clearly, as we've seen throughout his career. Frustration there. He probably knew it was bad. MRI said it's a high ankle sprain. Now, I mentioned that streak of double-digit point games. Well, that 3 LeBron hit before exiting turned out to be huge in that regard because that gave him 10 points on the nose. He's now scored double digits in 1,036 straight games, almost 200 games longer than any other player in NBA history. But his teammates are way more concerned with LeBron's ankle than that streak.
I didn't see what happened. I just thought he rolled his ankle, and I still haven't looked at it, or we haven't seen him, so not sure.
This guy's a pro, man. I don't think it's going to be anything that's going to set him back too much. But he is human, man. So he has to go through his protocols just like everybody else who will get hurt.
Yeah, just what we released. He's got an ankle injury, and that's all the information I have at this time. Anytime any guy's out, you adjust and play the guys that are in there's strengths. And I won't disclose what any mood of what LeBron was like internally. It's in-house.
All right, well, LeBron went to Twitter to tell everybody how he felt. Quote, "Nothing angers and saddens me more than not being available to and for my teammates. I'm hurt inside and out right now. The road back from recovery begins now. Back soon, like I never left."
LeBron James will be sidelined indefinitely with a high ankle sprain of his right ankle after Atlanta's Solomon Hill collided with LeBron's leg while diving for the ball on Saturday. The injury comes just 5 days before the NBA trade deadline, but don't expect the news to derail the plans the Lakers already had, monitoring the buyout market for an impact veteran or two. After several of LeBron's teammates suggested Hill's dive was reckless, the Hawks forward tweeted that he would never take out a player on purpose. LeBron also tweeted, writing in part, "The road back from recovery begins now. Back soon, like I never left."
So LeBron turning 36 in December, but he's clearly living that age ain't nothing but a number life. Even with Saturday's short outing, he's still averaging almost 34 minutes per game. Only Karl Malone and Kobe Bryant played more minutes per game in a player's 18th season or later.
I think, Stephen A., the biggest threat to LeBron James's MVP is Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard, a man that you have sat up here right in that spot and apologized to on First Take on this show for ignoring his exploits.
We all owe him an apology. Dropped 36 last night.
He has a cult hero kind of status in the NBA. Everyone loves this guy. He is the most clutch player in the league. That is unanimous. The consensus, at least, if not most clutch player, Damian Lillard. He's averaging 30 points a night with assists, everything you want. He has taken a team decimated by injury, destroyed by injury. No McCollum until recently, and they're fourth in the Western Conference. They're the fourth best record, tied for fourth best in the Western Conference. He's the sentimental favorite. He's playing at MVP level. He's shown leadership. We all know he has not been recognized enough. Harden's missed time with his team. Embiid's now hurt. That you look at each candidate on other teams, and Lillard is at least as good as any of them. I think he's the biggest. LeBron's the MVP. I think Lillard is his biggest threat.
Lillard is not his biggest threat. You can make an argument that he should be because he has been absolutely sensational. He warrants MVP consideration. I'm doing an essay on him this weekend for SportsCenter, for crying out loud. I mean, Lillard is the truth and a half. Make no mistake about it. Unfortunately, he is in the Pacific Northwest. He's not in a major market. He doesn't get the notoriety that he deserves, which is why I have always been an advocate. His personality, his swag, his ability to ball, combined with his ability to deliver when it really, really counts. The clutch player in the NBA. Nobody's hit more clutch shots in 2012, more so than Damian Lillard. When you take that into consideration, he should be the biggest threat to LeBron James. But because of their record, because he's in the Pacific Northwest, because he's flying under the radar to some degree where people like myself have to come on national television and apologize for not recognizing him even more, he's not the biggest threat to LeBron James for the MVP. LeBron James should be first right now. There's no question about it because of availability just as much as his capabilities. Kevin Durant's been out. I think James Harden's greatness has been compromised by the greatness of Kyrie Irving, and especially as of late. So as a result, you're looking at Kyrie Irving. Combine that with Joel Embiid. being injured. That's where I'm at right now. To me, Joel Embiid could come back soon. If he comes back soon, okay, and continues to play the way that he's been playing, and Philadelphia captures the #1 seed in the East, I think that's the biggest threat to not LeBron James being knocked off the chance to grab his 5th league MVP. But I want to make this case for LeBron James's league MVP in that regard. His numbers are his numbers. We get all of that. We know he's missed 1 game this season. Anthony Davis has missed 18. We know that Kevin Durant has missed his share of games as well, and now Joel Embiid is out. I want to read this quote from Frank Vogel, the head coach for the Los Angeles Lakers, which I think is the most strongest point to make about LeBron James. Quote, he plays every night, setting a great tone, I think, for young players and the whole league that if he feels good, he's going to be in there and he's going to compete at a super high level and dominate the game. He's the MVP of the league, in my opinion, thus far because of that mindset and what he's doing for our team, and he just wins the games in so many different ways. He really does it. He's really doing it all for us. The first part of that sentence, where he plays every night, sets a great tone for young players. Let's think about what we want the NBA to be. We want the NBA to be a league where we ain't worried about load management. We want the NBA to be a league where guys sign up, they're the headline, they're the marquee, and night in, night out, you know they're going to show up and you're going to have to deal with them. That their absence from competition is an aberration, not predictable, not the norm, not something to be expected. If LeBron James, even with what he's doing numbers-wise, if you want to make a case for LeBron James this year, you actually can make the same case for James Harden in regards to James Harden being available because he don't like to miss games.
Right.
He plays. LeBron, there's something to be said about a guy that's committed to showing up every night.
Particularly,
that's what we're going to miss most about LeBron James.
Now, these are bigs, but Embiid is missing time, and he was my MVP until he got hurt.
Right.
AD's missed time. James Harden wasn't there in the beginning of the season.
Yep.
AD is out. Like, you look around the league, LeBron's the one who only missed 1 game, and it was the day before the All-Star break, and that is truly remarkable. He's also a two-way player. LeBron will play defense. He's a two-way player at his age doing all of that. He is the MVP of the league. He certainly deserves more than the 4 he's already won. Let me say, Lillard, what he
doesn't miss games either.
He doesn't miss games, and he's done this. They're in 4th place without McCollum, Stephen A.
And Nurkic.
That's right, but McCollum's back.
Yeah, McCollum just got back Tuesday.
So Lillard's going to get the credit for what they've done because he did it for so long without McCollum, and McCollum's going to give him a boost. Portland is very live right now in the West, and I think if there's someone who's going to win it who's not named LeBron, it will be Damian Lillard.
I don't think it will be. I wish it was, but I don't think it will be. But the last point I want to make is this. I'm not talking about people who are truly, truly injured. Kevin Durant, it's been a while. He's been out longer than I expected him to be.
I'm scared.
I'm starting to get scared. Gus getting nervous about that. He should have been back by now. AD, you want to be careful. I totally understand it because that's Achilles that we're talking about here. I totally get that. But for the most part, if you are a player in the National Basketball Association, I want you to sit back and think about this. LeBron James is 36 years of age in his 18th season, and he's healthier than y'all. What the hell are y'all doing that y'all can't make sure you're healthy enough? You should be embarrassed that this man shows up to work more than you.
Vogel's.
All right, we got to go. Maybe he's on that TB12 method, right, Max?
Yeah, I would just say Vogel's quote when he says if he's feeling good, he's going to play, misses the point.